Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
We're tackling personal branding in the digital age today.
It can feel overwhelming, right?
Totally. But luckily,
Like a jungle out there.
exactly. But we've got Gary Vaynerchuk's Crushing It as our guide.
Oh, yeah. It's packed with amazing stories.
Stories of people who've built empires online.
Real-life examples of what works.
And that's what we're breaking down today.
So you can figure
It
out...
might work for you.
And what I love about Vaynerchuk's approach is
Yeah.
he's not about just getting famous for fame's sake.
Right.
It's about building a brand around something you're passionate about,
Something real.
turning that passion into a living.
And one thing he said that really resonated with me,
Yeah. What was that?
it's about how kids today, they don't dream of being movie stars.
They want to be YouTubers.
Yeah. Influencers, the whole 9 yards.
It's a whole different world.
So we're not talking about some passing fad.
No.
This is a fundamental shift in how people see success.
Exactly. It's about taking control of your own narrative.
Owning it.
Instead of waiting for someone to give you a chance,
Right.
you build your own platform, your own audience.
On your own terms.
And that brings us to the big question, I bet you're thinking.
Where do I even begin?
I know, right?
It can be so overwhelming.
But Vaynerchuk has some great advice on this.
Like what?
Your personal brand, he says, should be bigger than any one platform.
Oh, interesting. So like, what if Twitter disappears one day?
Exactly. You need a brand that can move with you.
So it's not about just being the Twitter guy or the Instagram girl.
Nope, it's deeper than that.
So how do you build that kind of brand?
Well, he compares it to building a house.
Okay, I like that analogy.
The platforms are like different rooms,
Each with their own vibe.
but the foundation of the house.
Yeah, that's the important part.
That's your core brand.
Those are your values, right?
Absolutely. Your expertise, your unique perspective.
So take a second to think, folks. What are you passionate about?
What are you good at?
What do people come to you for advice on already?
Those are the seeds of your personal brand.
And Vaynerchuk is all about action.
He doesn't just talk about it.
He shows you how it's done.
With all these stories in the book.
Real people who took those seeds and grew them into thriving businesses.
Like Karina Garcia, the slime queen.
Oh yeah, her story is amazing.
She was waitressing, making slime as a hobby.
Just for fun.
Then she starts pasting videos on YouTube.
And boom.
A 6-figure-a-month empire.
Enough to retire her parents, even.
But her story, it's not just about slime.
Yeah.
It's about tapping into niche passions.
Creating a community around something you love.
People respond to that.
That authenticity.
It's like that saying, do what you love and the money will follow.
Yeah, but in this case, it's like, do what you love, document it online, connect with others who love it too.
And then maybe the money follows.
Now, another story that stood out to me was Amy Schmittauer.
Oh, yeah. She was a lobbyist.
And after reading Crush It,
Yeah.
she went all in.
Became a social media consultant.
Quite a change.
She struggled at first, but ultimately,
Well, she built a successful career.
it just shows you it's possible.
To leave that 9 to 5 and do your own thing.
It takes hustle, resilience.
A willingness to learn on the fly.
And of course, you can't talk personal branding without mentioning,
The big names.
yeah, like John the Fat Jewish, Ostrovsky.
And Casey Neistat.
They leveraged humor, storytelling.
And they really understood social media.
They built massive followings, created real opportunities.
They're the ones who made it mainstream. Book deals, TV appearances.
They even sold their companies for millions.
But what's interesting is...
They didn't start out as experts in anything specific.
Right, they just had a knack for connecting with people online.
And that's a key takeaway. You don't need to be a world-renowned expert.
To build your own brand.
Nope. You just need to be passionate, authentic.
And willing to put yourself out there.
Exactly.
So as you hear these stories,
I want you to think.
what resonates with you?
What are your goals?
What kind of impact do you want to make
Those answers will guide you.
as you build your own brand?
And Vaynerchuk doesn't just leave you with inspiring stories.
He gives you the tools,
He breaks down the key principles and strategies.
the roadmap to success.
He says, here's how they did it.
Now go out and make it happen.
One principle that really stuck with me.
Oh yeah, tell me.
It's the importance of genuinely caring.
Interesting.
He uses Lewis Howes as an example.
Okay, remind me what she does.
Howes built his business by understanding and addressing the needs of others.
So it's not just about him.
Not at all.
It's about helping other people.
Right. He partnered with venues to help them fill their slowest nights. He focused on providing value, building relationships.
Yeah, that's what led to his success.
That genuine care and empathy.
It's a good reminder that business isn't just about making money.
It's about so much more.
It's about building relationships, creating value, making a positive impact.
Absolutely.
Now, Vaynerchuk is also a huge advocate for
Seed.
embracing failure.
He's not afraid to make mistakes.
Not at all. He says, you're better off being wrong 10 times and being right 3.
Then if you only try 3 times and always get it right,
He's all about action.
getting out there, experimenting.
Don't let fear hold you back.
The more you try, the more you learn.
The more likely you are to find something that works.
He also emphasizes paying attention to trends.
Where is everyone's attention shifting?
What's the next big thing?
It's like being a surfer, always looking for that next wave.
Spotting those trends early can give you a huge advantage.
So we've talked about the why of personal branding,
The principles behind it,
but now it's time to get to the how.
the practical stuff.
And that's where Vaynerchuk really shines.
He breaks down each platform.
Gives you specific strategies and tactics.
Everything from Twitter to YouTube, Facebook to Instagram.
Even Snapchat and podcasts.
He goes deep.
Insider tips, the stuff that really makes a difference.
So buckle up.
In the next part of our deep dive,
We're getting granular.
breaking down those platform-specific strategies.
You won't want to miss it. Welcome back to our deep dive.
Into personal branding.
And we're getting into the specifics now.
The nitty-gritty,
The platform-specific stuff.
which I'm excited about.
Me too. This is where things get really actionable.
So where do we start?
Let's start with Twitter.
Vaynerchuk's favorite, right?
Oh yeah, he's obsessed with Twitter.
Why is that?
He sees it as a way to connect.
With people who already care about what you have to say.
Exactly, he calls it,
Hijacking conversations.
which sounds a little intense,
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
but it's not about being rude or anything.
So what's it about?
It's about adding value,
Okay.
finding those conversations that are already happening.
In your niche, right?
Yep, and jumping in with insightful comments.
Yeah, own perspective.
Instead of just shouting into the void,
Right.
you're becoming part of a conversation.
Where people want to hear what you have to say.
You become the go-to person,
The expert.
the one with the interesting takes.
And Twitter moves so fast.
You can experiment, find your voice,
Tweet out multiple ideas a day.
see what resonates.
Refine your approach.
He even compares it to a long-form interview.
How so?
Imagine you're trying to get a job at ESPN.
Okay.
Instead of just sending your resume,
Yeah.
you're on Twitter, engaging in sports conversations,
Showing off your knowledge.
proving your expertise.
Building your portfolio in real time.
Exactly.
Now let's switch gears.
To YouTube.
Another one of Vaynerchuk's favorites.
Oh yeah, he loves YouTube.
What does he like about it?
He's all about vlogging,
Documenting your journey.
letting people see the real you.
Warts and all.
He believes that authenticity builds trust.
People want to see the real person behind the brand.
And he stresses finding your own voice.
Not trying to be someone you're not.
Embrace what makes you unique.
Your quirks, your sense of humor,
He uses Wine Library TV as an example.
his own show. Right.
Yeah, it started as just wine reviews,
Pretty straightforward.
but his personality started to come through.
And that's what resonated with people.
He encourages creators to experiment,
Try different formats.
be patient.
It takes time to find what works.
And of course, there's the technical side of YouTube.
The optimization stuff,
Titles, descriptions, thumbnails.
all those little details.
That can make a big difference
He also talks about using cards and end screens.
to keep people on your channel.
Watching more of your videos.
Now let's move on to Facebook.
Bit of a dinosaur, some might say.
But Vaynerchuk still sees value in it.
Why is that?
He calls it a distribution channel.
A way to share your content widely?
Even if you don't have a huge following.
Your content can still reach a lot of people.
If it's engaging, shareable.
People will share it with their friends and family.
He also highlights Facebook ads.
A way to target specific people.
And don't forget about Facebook Live.
Real-time connection with your audience.
Answering questions, building community.
And he thinks video will become even more important on Facebook.
So get those cameras rolling.
Now, Instagram.
The land of visual storytelling.
Vaynerchuk emphasizes the aesthetics.
Creating a visually appealing feed.
That reflects your brand.
High-quality images, videos.
He's big on hashtags.
Using them strategically.
Think of them like keywords.
Help people find your content.
Use a mix of broad and niche hashtags.
And don't be afraid to collaborate.
Reach out to other creators.
Partner with brands.
Cross-promote each other's accounts.
Everyone wins.
He gives an example of a clothing store manager.
Using Instagram to connect with influencers.
Offering discounts, hosting events.
Generating buzz around the store.
Now Snapchat.
Might not be the hottest platform anymore.
But Vaynerchuk still sees value in it.
Authenticity, unfiltered content.
A break from those perfectly curated feeds.
A chance to be real.
DJ Khaled does a great job with Snapchat.
He's not afraid to be goofy.
Show behind-the-scenes glimpses.
And people love it.
And of course, we can't forget about podcasts.
Or a personal favorite.
Vaynerchuk highlights their power.
Reaching people while they're multitasking.
Driving, working out, doing chores.
Becoming part of their routine.
He also points out that podcasts are less intimidating than video.
You don't have to be on camera.
Just your voice, your ideas.
Connecting with your audience.
He loves the story of those two elderly women.
Who started a movie review podcast.
Proving it's never too late.
To embrace audio and build your brand.
And finally, we come to voice-first technology.
Alexa, Google Assistant.
Still pretty new.
But Vaynerchuk sees huge potential.
Optimizing your content for voice search.
Imagine someone says, Alexa, find me the best tips on personal branding.
And your content pops up.
It's a different way of thinking.
Creating concise, informative audio content.
That can be accessed through voice commands.
He encourages creators to experiment.
Be at the forefront of this emerging technology.
It can feel overwhelming with all these platforms.
It's a lot to take in.
But remember, you don't have to be everywhere at once.
Vaynerchuk says pick one or two.
That excite you and master those.
Find the platforms where your audience hangs out.
And where you feel comfortable expressing yourself.
Experiment. Try things out.
See what works. Adjust your approach as you go. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Gary Vaynerchuk's Crushing It.
We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
The why, the principles, the platform specifics.
But now it's time to look ahead.
The future of personal branding.
What trends should we have on our radar?
Well, Vaynerchuk is always looking ahead.
Trying to predict the next big thing.
And he mentions some platforms that could be game changers.
Like what?
Marco Polo, for one.
Video messaging.
Right. Yeah, very personal, authentic.
Then there's Anchor.
Makes podcasting super easy.
And after school.
A social network, just for teenagers.
If Vaynerchuk's watching it,
They should probably pay attention too.
could be the birthplace of the next wave of influencers.
Now, he's also excited about augmented reality, virtual reality.
And AI, of course.
Imagine, instead of just watching a video,
It's Sarah immersed in a 3D experience.
interacting with the content and the creator,
And AI could personalize that experience.
tailoring it to your interests. There's even a part in the book where he talks about,
Recording every minute of our lives.
yeah, it's kind of a crazy thought,
Like a little drone following you around.
but he puts a positive spin on it
Imagine reliving your grandparents' lives.
through their recorded memories,
Experiencing their joys and sorrows.
as if you were there.
It could change how we connect with history, with each other.
It's mind-blowing,
But the key takeaway here,
is that the digital landscape is constantly changing.
what's hot today could be gone tomorrow.
So how do we stay ahead of the curve?
Vaynerchuk's advice is to be adaptable.
Stay curious, never stop learning.
Experiment with new platforms, new technologies.
And remember, you don't have to be everywhere at once.
Find the platforms that resonate with you and your audience.
Focus on those.
Find your voice. Hone your craft.
Connect with people who share your passions.
The future of personal branding is wide open.
A chance to be creative, innovative.
Build a brand that truly reflects who you are.
So to wrap things up,
One final thought from Vaynerchuk.
he says, you are in control of your own destiny.
It's powerful stuff.
The power to build a successful personal brand is in your hands.
Embrace the opportunities, put in the work,
Never stop learning and growing.
stay curious, stay creative.
And keep